Hey, what's up guys? It's Parnellyx and we're playing Warwick top lane preseason 13 once again. We're going versus Renekton in this matchup here. You can see we're already getting off to a nice start because we had I think Karthus warded the enemy red buff, which means we can get this nice tri-bush cheese off that I really like on blue side. Renekton, for whatever reason, thinks that he keeps trying to trade back with me. Doesn't accept that he's just going to get kind of screwed over level 1 and dies. And I'll take it because, yeah, why not? We love to see it. So nothing really too special there. That was just a cheese kill. Also notice with my summoner spell setup this game, we're trying out Ghost and Exhaust here. We got Ghost, Exhaust, and we got Lethal Tempo. I really like Lethal Tempo. Lethal Tempo is really good versus the entire enemy team comp. They got Renekton, Hecarim, Diana, all these bruisers and diver champions. That's just makes like Blade the Rune King and Lethal Tempo and Ghost all really strong because I can just sit there and just whack them, right? That's what makes the Lethal Tempo is good if you can just sit there and whack the enemy champions over and over again and not really get kited, and that's exactly what I can do this game. But I really like the Ghost instead of Flash with Lethal Tempo, especially versus a team that's this tanky. I think my realization with Flash is that Flash is good. It's good for diving, like the enemy ADC or whatever, but that's basically all it's really good for. If you're trying to actually like not do that, Ghost actually is a little bit more versatile and scales better in team fights. Yeah. This actually right here, I actually made a very big mistake by trying to go for these Krugs. So I tried to set up a dive on the Renekton. He recognizes it. I force him back, which is all good and everything. I do manage to cancel his recall as well. But I try to do the enemy Krugs, and I'm pretty sure the enemy Krugs have that they take reduced, or they take reduced damage from you. Like there's like the counter juggling debuff that you have. So that meant that those Krugs took forever to take. So I just ended up getting caught out by this Hecarim. I actually thought I was gonna be fine to be able to fight him there, but he actually did a lot more damage than I assumed. I ended up dying, losing some minions, and kind of losing my lead a little bit. I just developed like I completely just won my lane, and now I'm still winning. But I mean, I was winning a lot more. Holy moly, I am winning a lot. Look at the CS gap. I didn't even notice the CS gap in this lane matchup. I'm up 47 to 12, so I'm still winning. I am still winning here, and I'm trying to actually take these trades under turret here, because I'm trying to set up a potential kill. I get a little bit cocky, don't really recognize that he can get out the wave, so I take a turret shot, but completely fine to play super aggressive because I got the exhaust in my back pocket. And that's what the exhaust is for, is just allowing me to like win any duel, like ever. Especially since they do have some champions that can potentially duel me later on, such as like Hecarim, Diana, and of course Renekton. The exhaust also can help with allowing me to stick on to like Aphelios or really anyone I'm trying to chase. So there's a little bit of a secondary purpose for it. I'm not sure how I feel about the exhaust, you know, on Warwick. It's definitely better than barrier in mid to late game, but it's not as good as barrier early game, and it's also doesn't have as low as a cooldown. Right there, I just kind of end up dying. I decided to stay in lane because I liked my lane position, but as a result, I didn't actually recall and get my damage items that I probably should have grabbed, and I ended up just hinting. Afterwards, though, Lucian actually went top lane to cover top, so I went to cover bot lane, and I realized that there's this free dragon opportunity, so I decided to just start it, go with my team, because we're just stronger as a team, and I pop Ghost, and we just kind of go ham here, and I do manage to barely survive. I had a fully stacked Lethal Tempo, and this is just good. There's really not much else to say about that. So I go ahead and recall. I get my Blade the Rune King, which is an insane power spike on Warwick. The only problem with Blade the Rune King is that you are going to be squishy. at least right when you get it. But your damage cannot be understated. The damage is pretty ridiculous in terms of trading power, especially versus someone like Renekton, who, once again, I can just sit there and whack them. I think you'll see right here, heal, auto, boom. A third of this man's health gone. And that was after he healed as well. So the damage on Blade the Rune King is very, very nice, which is these tankier, bruisier champions. And that's why it's good to have. And normally the issue is once again that it's going to fall off, but because we're going Jaksho this game, it's not going to fall off. In fact, we're trying to I tried to actually trade with them under turret here, but he ended up giving me an empowered stun off, and I realized I probably need to just commit there. And sadly, I did not want to trade 1-for-1 there, but it's actually completely fine. Like, going for a really aggressive play like that is okay, because at the end of the day, he misses out on minions, so I end up winning out in the trade. So, like, worst case scenario, like the worst case scenario happened, which is me dying, and it still was favorable. So those are the times that you do definitely want to, like, limit test and see if you can make a big play happen. But we got the wave bouncing back into us with this power spike. I have played steel caps in a ruby crystal now, which means that Renekton can't really surprise burst us. That's his only, like, outs in this lane, is if he can just like assassinate us without our E up. That's what happened earlier, and kind of catch us off guard. But because we're so tanky now with played steel caps and ruby crystal, we can just sit here and freeze. I am concerned about him roaming, but he does show up, not roaming at all, and he just can't fight us. He even cancels our ultimate there with his stun, which is my least favorite interaction on Warwick. But we're still able to kill him, no issues there. And I decided to just cut the wave after the fact. That way all of my minions are dying under his turret, and they're just kind of going to waste. I'm trying to expand this lead here. I could obviously just kill that turret faster, but that turret's gonna die anyways, so it's really no big deal. Renekton tries to trade. Renekton tries to trade knowing that Hecarim's here, but I got Karthus ults. I use my Karthus ults command, and the man goes boom. And I feel like I'm on top of the world, but there's like 8 people that show up here. There's like I kind of forgot that there was a Parnellyx fan meeting scheduled in the top lane, 15 minutes. So I get punished for that. I'm of course okay with taking that trade. It's a 1-for-1 where they had to burn sums on me, and like there's 4 people. I had to waste time, so it's all worth. And when I come back, there's just really crazy jungle fight. I don't even know what's happening here. I barely even got my hand on anyone. I don't know how everyone died. I think Stylish just 1v9 that or something. And this game is obviously getting a little out of hands for the enemy team. My entire team is winning, which is awesome. I'll say it, but I've actually been this preseason so far, I've been playing very, very good, but I haven't been like winning a ton, and that's just because I think just the nature of preseason games are very chaotic and out of control. People don't care as much. But right here we got our jaksho, and this is like a perfect example of why jaksho is just overpowered. I have a fully stacked jaksho right now, and you see I'm already full HP. You see all that healing that I have, and how little damage they actually deal to me. It takes so much effort for them to deal any meaningful damage to me, and when they do, my healing is actually like feels relevant. The problem with Warwick the last couple seasons is that your healing later on in the game just no longer feels relevant, but when you have all of this resistance, then it just becomes too hard for the enemy team to be able to kill you. And especially with something like BORK and lethal tempo, we use the Karthus ult again. He thinks that Thresh should come around and save him here. But like with the BORK here, as I think you'll see here in a second, it gives me a ton of damage. Like, look at this. I'm going to just shred this Diana here. Just shred this Diana. And I'm unkillable. So it's like, what do you like look, I'm not taking that much damage from the turrets. I'm baiting everyone out because I think they can kill me. And then I can just heal off this wave. And I get a little cocky here, I'm not gonna lie. This I'm just trying to just show off how tanky I am as Aphelios by tanking his turret. And so I try to go for this Renekton here with the team. Sadly, I actually get stunned up under the turrets, so I do end up dying. But you just see just how ridiculous this build is at 2 items. And it's not really going to fall off. If anything, it's going to get better as I get my Gargoyle Stone Plates and I build into more other items alongside that. But this is basically the core. We take the Baron, kind of just fast forward to the Baron as if it's nothing. But the enemy team is doing a desperation dragon play here, trying to make something happen as a comeback. As you can see, it is a bit of a stomp across the board. But we're able to make it there in time and almost finish them off. Although I will say, me and my entire team, we all have the same thing in mind, and that is we want to int into the Fallon. This right here is teamwork. We're not trying. We don't care about the win. It's preseason. Let's just have some fun. Everyone here is trying to get a couple extra kills, scrape out of the bottom of the barrel, and we successfully managed to get aced at 23 minutes, or 23 minutes, trying to actually kill whoever we can in the Fallon, and that's great. I like this though because I died first, which gives me the opportunity to attempt to try to 1v5 here. So I don't hesitate. I can't wait for my teammates to come because I want to see how powerful I am at this point in the game. I'm thinking maybe I can 1v5, although this Aphelios does a lot of damage because he has the perfect guns for it. But you can just see just how ridiculously tanky I am. And that was despite getting kited. If I wasn't getting kited and I was actually killing people there, then you'd be able to see what this champion can do at this with this build at this stage of the game. But that's gonna be it for this game. So yep, let me know what you guys think of this build. It's one of my favorite builds in Warwick right now, and you'll definitely see it more later.